Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Turn Struggle into Purpose. My name is Jason Ursay. I have gone through quite the medical journey. I have undergone 8 brain surgeries, and I've lived with a disability for the past 21 plus years. I just want to give you a little recap of what I have gone through in my life before I dive into today's subject, which is find light in darkness. Um, I was born with a birth defect in my brain called an arteriovenous malformation. It's a vascular birth defect. Uh, Blood vessels did not form properly in my brain, and they formed into a large mass in my brain that caused the cerebrospinal fluid in my brain to build up. I did not learn about the birth defect or the hydrocephalus, as it's called, until the age of 11. At that time, I was experiencing excruciating headaches and having vision problems, and I wound up having my first brain surgery at the age of 11 in 1992. It was October of 1992, at which time a shunt or a tube was placed into my body to drain the fluid from my head to my abdomen. I have a shunt in my body. You can see the tube right there. That runs from my head down to my abdomen. And that solved the problem temporarily. And then 14 months later, I was having similar problems. And in December of 1993, I had my second brain surgery, which a second shunt was placed on the other side of my head. That one is right here. Can't see it too well anymore, but it's right there. Um, Again, that solved the problem temporarily, but a few years later, started having problems again. And in 1996, June of 96, I had a third brain surgery. We had to kind of bypass a blockage with the second shunt. And so the first surgery was in 6th grade, the second one in 7th grade, and the third one at the very end of 9th grade. I was okay for a little while and got through high school and got through my first year of college. Then in my second year of college, I experienced a bleed in my brain from the AVM, the birth defect. And at that time, I wound up having my fourth brain surgery, which was a radiation procedure called a gamma knife. The radiation procedure was intended to eliminate the birth defect. It relieved my symptoms temporarily, but it did not get rid of the birth defect. Wound up graduating from college and starting my professional career, but the good times did not last. I ended up having a second bleed, or second major bleed, in December of 2003. Wound up undergoing a second gamma knife surgery in February of 2004, and so that would have been my fifth brain surgery. And several months later, back in September of 2004, my left side of my body stopped working. I can no longer use my left hand. It's been 21 plus years I've lived like this. it affected the entire left side of my body. I have limited feeling on the left side of my body. My limp got worse. Uh, had some effects to my mental acuity, and so 21 plus years later, I'm still here. In 2018, I ended up having another brain surgery, and uh, I had that surgery because the shunts were draining too much fluid from my brain and causing more migraines and debilitating headaches. And so I had surgery to install valves on the shunts to regulate the flow. And fast forward a few more years, 2021, I had more problems. I developed a mass on my neck um, that turned out to be from a leak in one of the shunts in the first shunt that I had installed. And so cerebrospinal fluid was accumulating in my neck. See the scar, but yeah. So then I ended up in the hospital for 10 days in 2021. I had to have two brain surgeries at that time. The first was an exploratory surgery to try to figure out what was going on with the mass on my neck. And then and at that time, it was discovered that I had a major infection in my neck that had spread up into my brain along the path of the shunt. So during that hospital stay, I had a second brain surgery in which they had to replace one of the valves that had been put in 2018. I spent 10 days in the hospital, a few days in the intensive care unit. Um, but still, I pulled through. Made it. I'm still here, still alive and kicking, and it's, I'm taking my lumps, but I'm still here. I'm still going. I'm still positive. Still trying to live my best life. Um, Honestly, I've gone through some dark times, but today's story or today's video is about finding light in the darkness. There's just so much negativity in the world, whether you have health problems or you don't. There's just we all have a mountain to climb. We all have our challenges and hurdles that we have to overcome. You need to focus on the things that bring you joy. For me, that's been music. Uh, Listening to music, discovering new music, live music has been a lifesaver for me, and now I get a lot of joy from just spending time with my wife and my cat at home. So we all need that light to distract us from the sorrow, um, and shift our attention from negative thoughts to positive ones. It's not easy. We need to reframe our thoughts and focus our thoughts on positivity. A great quote by Viktor Frankl from his book Man's Search for Meaning. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Then there's another great quote by Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, who said that the quality of one's life is determined by the quality of his thoughts. So, um, win the battle in your head. Control the thoughts you allow to take up space in your head, and then you can overcome anything. You can uh, avoid the pitfalls of despair. Keep a positive attitude and keep going, keep growing. I really appreciate your time today. This was a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it. Please subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing everyone next Sunday. I'll post another short on Wednesday evening. Thank you so much. Take care. Again, this is Jason Ursay. Turn struggle into purpose. Thank you so much. Have a good night.